Yeah, and it does help you build authority and gain trust. I think it's the fastest way to do that.
100%. Nick, it's like we were separated at birth. Like the power of video is it creates the illusion of the minds of the people out there on the internet like they feel like they know you. It is the tool that would give somebody the opportunity to know, like, and trust you a minute or 2 minutes at a time. We all know of the big gurus like Alex Hormozy or Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi, maybe Jeff Walker, Russell Brunson. And so many people out there know of these big gurus, but they've never been to their event. They've
Yep.
never bought a course from them, but they
Mhm.
know who they are because of video. And
All right, so today we have Jimbo Marshall with us, and he's going to share all about himself and how he helps other people. So, Jimbo, thank you for being on the show, and can you share a little bit about yourself?
absolutely. But first, let me say thank you for having me, Nick. I appreciate it very much. Honored and thrilled to be here. So my name is Jimbo Marshall. I've been a video producer for close to 20 years now, and really in the realm of direct response marketing, specifically working in the coaching industry and niche, and really developing an expertise and helping thousands of coaches, including some big names, David Nagel, Suzanne Evans, JJ Virgin, Lisa Sasevich, Mary Morrissey, and the list goes on. But really bringing video to those kinds of entrepreneurs in a strategic way so that you can actually make money with your videos, because nobody wants to make videos just for fun. We're making the videos for a purpose. And I've had the privilege and the honor of being at so many multi-million dollar events and in masterminds and back rooms and talking about the strategy with, some of the people that are making, 8 to 12 million a year, where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great to be here. So that's a little bit about myself. And other than that, what I aim to do is always help that entrepreneur or that coach really have the courage to be themselves and understand that video is a tool and it helps you create that know, like, and trust. And we can't ignore it anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
And, when I started my business, the first thing I did was start making videos. I
Yeah.
started posting videos on social media every single day.
Love
And
it.
because of that, I've got tens of thousands of followers. I get millions of views a month. And the cool thing is I've monetized my social media account. So,
Yeah.
you
That
know,
is the cool thing.
yeah. Yeah, and it does help you build authority and gain trust. I think it's the fastest way to do that.
100%. I could, Nick, it's like we were separated at birth. Like the power of video is it creates in the illusion of the minds of the people out there on the internet like they feel like they know you.
Mhm.
And I will always, I say this, I'm like, it is the tool that would give somebody the opportunity to know, like, and trust you a minute or 2 minutes at a time. And then the other thing I say is we all know of the big gurus like Alex Hormozy or Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi, maybe Jeff Walker, Russell Brunson. And so many people out there know of these big gurus, but they've never been to their event. They've never bought a course from them, but they know who they are because of video. And really, it's just entrepreneurs got to understand, like, this is the most valuable tool when you combine it with the social media channels, which, listen, a guy my age, 57, we didn't grow up with this stuff. It is challenging for us at times, but the reality is it's like having free television stations on whenever you want, and you just can't ignore that.
Yeah, I agree. And that's, a lot of why I started my podcast. And it's kind of funny because when I was looking into starting a podcast, so many people said, you don't need to do video. I was like, if I'm going to sit here to do it, you're going to make a video. Like, why not? You're already doing it. Because, like, this content I can repurpose over and over and over, you know? So, yeah, it's like,
Exactly.
it's so important.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And are you creating more like short form video or long form or both?
Both. I
Right.
think here's the way I look at it. I would love every entrepreneur or coach, service provider, first and foremost, you know, you have a YouTube channel where you have some lengthier content on there. It doesn't mean that people are going to watch all of that stuff, right? But if you go to a YouTube page and it looks like it's put together and there's a lot of videos and it's like, oh, okay, instantly your mind goes, all right, they're the real deal. This is they've been doing it, right? And so I want that in a perfect world, you're putting out a weekly video, right? It's a lot to do, admittedly, right? It is not the easiest format to deal with, but in a perfect world, you're putting out 4 to 6 minute video per week that's like content based, and you send that as part of your email newsletter per week, right? And then from that, you take, 15, 20-second snippets, or you're creating a whole nother, uh, you know, batch of content that is designed to be anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds. And you run that on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, et cetera, with the stories or whatever it's called with the little shorts,
Yep.
right? It's the
Yep.
YouTube
Yep.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
I think you
agree.
got to have both. And of course, this, when you make the long content, it's super easy for an editor who knows what they're doing to extract out of a 4 minute video 3 to 5 clips that are, that can work on social media. So you can do this effectively when you put some strategy behind it.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Like what I do, like I started my YouTube channel almost exactly 3 years ago, and there's 3,000 videos on there.
My God.
Yeah, and because I put my podcast episodes on there, so once a
Yeah.
week you get the long form content, and then every day I post a short.
I love it.
Every day, at least one short a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like social media doesn't cost you anything to post, so use it.
Yes. Well said, my man. Well said.
And like, I know like a lot of the clients, because what we do is we have a company called Infinite Success Media. And
Uh-huh.
what we do is we help our clients with social media. We create the content, we do it all.
Yeah.
A lot of my clients, when they first get started, they're only on like a couple platforms. And I'm like, no, we're going to change that. We're going to put you on all of them because why not? You
Why
know?
not? Yeah. And the automations, the tools exist that make it easier than ever. Like we
Yeah.
are living in a golden age right now.
Hmm.
I tell
Yep.
people, like, when you think about like how chat or Claude have made it so simple to create the frameworks for all of your content, it's like just getting rid of the excuses, right?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So, what made you start wanting to do this as a career?
I don't have any other talents. I really don't.
Well, it's a good one to have.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I'm 57, and I I went to film school. I graduated in 93, and I made a feature film. I went to graduate school for film, and I made a feature film, and I dropped out of school, and I have this feature film that's shot on 16 millimeter. I mean, it's like, this is before digital editing, really, I mean, it's like crazy time. Um, and I didn't know what to do after that movie didn't get sold. I was like the first time in my life where it didn't work out. Right. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I wasn't the kind of a film student where I was like, I'm going to go work on sets. Like I wanted to be the visionary, the person in charge. That's just what I wanted. Right.
Mhm.
And I ended up teaching school for 8 years, and I taught middle school for 5 years. And I developed a film program for the middle school.
Oh, cool.
And I ended up getting a job after that as an infomercial editor for practice for doctors who are cash pay doctors, so think like plastic surgery, tummy tucks, boob jobs, right? Cosmetic dentistry, because these medical professionals don't really have a great way to advertise. So there was this infomercial and I got this job and I was like, just so happy, Nick, that somebody would pay me to edit all day. Like I was thrilled. I was like, you know what I mean? And in the meantime, what I didn't realize is I was learning so much about marketing. Like I was just like, but I didn't really know it because my job as the editor was like to take this hour of raw footage, make it 28 and a half minutes. And then if it didn't work, meaning the phones weren't ringing, I would have to re-edit the shows. So I just kept
Mm,
looking at like, what are the characteristics of the doctors who are making tons of money?
mhm,
And I started realizing like, oh, the doctors that do the best on here really talk in terms like, well, your life's going to be so much better because when you go out to eat, you've got those dentures and you know how stressful it is. And, when you get dental implants, you're going to feel so confident as
mm.
opposed to, well, we're going to drill into your gum and put two posts in it, right? It's classic marketing. They were
Mhm,
talking about the outcome,
exactly.
right? Why people would purchase, right? They don't want to hear about how many posts are going into their mouth. And so anyways, long story long, I met a woman during that time named JJ Virgin. She's a big deal in the health and wellness space. And she introduced me to somebody named Lisa Sasevich. And that's what really got me into what I call the coachy coach world. And that was like 2009. So I was the video guy for Lisa's first big event. And I watched her sell $2.4 million in coaching services in 3 days. And I'd never seen it. I was like, what on flat earth is happening? Like wow, how did she do that? You know? And since then I've seen it more times than I can ever count. I haven't done it myself yet, but I'm getting closer. Um, but I ended up joining her program after that. She called me a week later and I ended up joining because I was like, I just watched her close like 46 people into this year-long program. Surely a few of them would need video, right? And, and then by that time, this is 2009. So I had some really good experiences. I'd shot for local businesses and I put together like a local product because I also shot, shot like 1,200 weddings, like you name it. I was like, if you got a credit card and you need something produced, I'm going to come make it for you,
Yeah.
right? Because I loved it. I just love putting stuff together, right? Um, and then as my career progressed, it really became more about me as an authority to help people step into their own power. Because the problem for most entrepreneurs is this: they're really good at what they do. They're expert, but they don't know how to present it. They don't have the confidence in front of the camera. They don't have the like, what is the strategy where this would lead to, right? I literally just got a script from a client and it's supposed to be a promotional video that's going to go on social media. And I'm telling her like, hey, 45 seconds, here's how I'm going to do it. And she sends me a script that's like 5.5 minutes long. And I'm like, nobody's going to watch it. Right. So as my career advanced, I took all of this experience of marketing from the infomercial companies and I ended up shooting for the Discovery Channel. So I've been to the Great Wall of China shooting videos, and I've been in a Shark Tank in South Africa and an active volcano in Italy. And I've been to Greece and, just crazy places shooting for the Discovery Channel. Um, all of it kind of like came together where it's like, oh, okay, I've got the teaching background. I've got the expertise in this thing. I'm also an actor. I'm also in this show called Mr. Deity that we started in 2007. This was when YouTube was not owned by Google, kind of wild times. And so I'm more famous in that world than any other world. And yet I rarely do that show anymore. Anyways, long story long, my whole life, I've just leaned in the creative direction. And I think having the tools of videos, the combining with my background of acting, combined with my marketing knowledge, it's like this sweet concoction of like every Friday when I put out a video, I'm like, what can I do this week?
Mhm.
Right. And I do everything from buying a Santa suit to a turkey suit and, you know, like just crazy stuff because I'm having fun. Right. And I love the artistic creation of things. But I also know and believe, because it's happened with me and thousands of my clients, when you apply video strategically to your business, it will grow your business.
Mhm. Yep, that's for sure, and I've done it myself, and I'm not perfect, and we're getting into the more editing space these
Yeah.
days. We're trying to learn how to edit videos so they're a lot better, and, um, I'm gonna be making a big change on my YouTube where we actually do more long form content that
Cool.
isn't just the podcast,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because podcasts are good, but they're not like entertainment,
Yeah.
they're not gonna grow your channel, that much. But so yeah, I wanna just do fun stuff that I like to do,
Yes.
record it, put it out there.
And here's what I believe. I love that because part of my whole message is we buy the person,
Exactly.
right? And video gives us that opportunity to show all of us. It allows us to be creative and artistic, even if we're not creative and artistic, right? When you work with the right person, they're going to pull that out of you and be like, hey, what about this? Let's try this, right? So I love that idea. And, you know, when we look at a podcast versus strategic content, it's apples and oranges, right? And there's room for both. That's what I
Yeah,
really like about this.
yeah. And I think nowadays, especially, your personal brand is so important. With AI and everything that's happening, it's like
Yeah.
people want to see you. They wanna see that you're real. They wanna see that you're a normal person living your life,
Yep.
like, I'll take a video in my house, you'll see my messy house, I'm
Yeah.
not perfect,
Right.
but that's what people wanna see
And
because
nobody cares.
yeah,
Right.
nobody cares,
Yeah, they appreciate more that they're getting to see the real you because
yeah,
we, you know, we all know those people on Instagram or whatever who everything they post is like so perfect and pretty, and you're like, okay, how lucky for you,
yep.
right? Uh, yeah,
It's just so cool how many more people are getting into the video space and posting content
yeah,
and just getting a following. It's really cool how, especially on YouTube, you can be a YouTube influencer
yeah, for
by just
sure.
living your life. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and, I wanna do that, I wanna be somebody known for just having fun, helping people with business too, you know?
Exactly.
So, when you're working with your clients, are you, like, helping them with scripts and telling them, like, what to video? Are
Yes,
you videoing yourself? How does
yes,
that work?
all of the above.
Okay.
So really, clients want to work with me because I am going to be hands on in the strategy. And really, I can always look at a strategy and reverse engineer and go, okay, if we're going to make these videos together, we have to agree, where do they lead to? Like, they need to go somewhere. And when we know that somewhere, essentially we start there and we go, okay, what would be the content that we need to produce that would naturally lead them to that solution? Right. So the simplest version is, if I've got, a simple lead magnet on, 3 easy steps to video, right? And it's maybe like a mini course or whatever the case may be, then I would essentially want to look and go, okay, what does this course teach you? And now how can I start making promotional material towards that goal, right? That would naturally lead to that end result. And the bigger mistake that I think most coaches are still making, and listen, guilty sometimes because we move at the speed of light, right? The bigger mistake is if I'm opting into your free magnet, your lead magnet, or even your masterclass or webinar, and I'm going to come, listen to you teach for an hour or whatnot. What isn't done often enough is understanding that when we, let's take the master class, for example, when we put on a master class, and let's say we had 50 people sign up for it, right? On the day of the master class, a couple things are going to happen. One, we know all 50 people will not show up live. They just will not, right? We sign up for stuff, we don't show up. So we've already got a decision tree of like, okay, what do we do with the people who have signed up, but that didn't show up? Well, it's a natural follow up. But if we add video to that, even better, right? Then we've got, let's say out of the 50 people, 20 people showed up. We make an offer, 8 say yes. Now we've got another follow-up path of what happens to those additional 12 that were on the call, but weren't quite ready to move forward with the offer, right? So it's like, how could we use video to nurture them, right? And get them to a possible yes. And then one of my favorite little funnel follow-ups is like, when somebody does say yes to our offer, how are we creating an experience for them that validates their decision
Mhm.
and sets the proper expectation for a great relationship, right?
Mhm.
So even a simple video basically saying, hey, well done, Nick. I am so glad to have you in my video program. You're making a good decision. I want to get you ready for what's going next. You're going to receive an email. Your login is going to be there, right? It's just another video to get them to like you. And
Mhm.
I'll even say things like, and listen, my goal in our relationship together, just so you know, before we get started, is that you have an outstanding experience. And I am going to come to you and ask you for a testimonial because I am so confident that we are going to bring the goods. So check your email and I can't wait to get started with you.
I
Right.
like that.
So it eliminates that buyer's remorse, right? It
Mhm.
validates the sale, right? It sets them up for like, what happens next? Where will I go next? Is this thing organized, right? People love to be directed and told what to do, right? Not in a mean, cruel way, but it just helps our feeble little brains if we don't have to figure it out. It's like, okay, this is the next step. Fill
Yep.
out the form, right?
Yep.
So for me, it's really using video in all these little areas. Because what I didn't even talk about was you have a master class. Let's say it's live next Wednesday, right? So it's 6 days from now. You could drop in a few pre-nurture videos.
Mhm.
I would, call these stick strategy videos. Try to get them to make sure that they show up, right? Tease the content a little bit that's going to be happening in a few days, right? So there's just so many opportunities. And the beautiful thing about that is when we build that for our clients, it's now good for a couple of years. Like as long as they're going to keep running this same lead magnet or masterclass, right? That all of that content is made and it's just rinse and repeat. So, when I start with somebody, it really, obviously it depends on what service offering they're purchasing, but it's always going to start with a strategy because I'm always looking out for this goal of like, hey, I want to do a great job for you so much that you would recommend me to anyone that would listen. And two, you would buy additional video services for me, right? Because, the good thing about my, business model, so to speak, is that it's consumable,
Mhm.
right? You should be constantly making videos. And in fact, even, the last 12 months or so, I've really put more of an emphasis on teaching entrepreneurs how to do this themselves and specifically how to edit in a specific program. I found this little program called Veed, and I'd never seen anything where I was like, oh my gosh, I could teach somebody that doesn't know how to use a computer how to edit, right? Because now we're in the day where it's like most people have heard of Canva, they've
Mhm.
dabbled in Canva. So I'm like, look, if you can click and drag and you've ever been in Canva, I can show you how to make your own videos because I'm going to teach you this process of shooting to
Mhm.
make it easy, right? So you know that you're shooting for an edit. We're not trying to do the video in one take,
Mhm.
right? And we're strategically planning this, right? So when we get somebody onboarded, it's all about strategy first. How are we going to, uh, help them make money in their business and, help change the world or whatever it is they're trying to do. And then ultimately my goal is to like, I got to teach a man to fish a little bit, right?
Mhm.
As much as I love the revenue and I want the business, a lot of people don't need to hire me yet. They need to learn from me, maybe get some experience with me, but I understand money is tight, right? So I truly believe like today's modern day coach entrepreneur, you got to be visible. You
Mhm.
can do that with video.
Yeah.
You got to have an offer and you got to be willing to sell it. And you got to be willing to like know that that offer is not precious. Like I'll change it tomorrow and make it 6 calls instead of 12, right? Like you got to get some proof and some momentum going. And then the third thing I tell everyone is like, look, you got to learn a little bit of your CRM. I mean,
Mhm.
you've got to know if you're in the coaching model, you're building a list.
Mhm.
And if you can't build a simple landing page or send out an email broadcast, you're just going to be pouring money out all the time,
Yep.
right? So that's generally the way I work with clients in that regard. I have a couple of clients that I go to them, and we're shooting, high end 4K cameras. And sometimes it involves me hiring out, director of photography so that I can focus on the direction and he's got the lighting, depending on, how complicated the shoot might be. But really 90% of the work I do now is on Riverside. I literally just get clients on Riverside. We have the scripts written ahead of time. And essentially, we just are shooting that one paragraph at a time so that I know when the video is good so that I can turn it over to my editing team and I know the video is done, if that makes sense, right? So I'm shooting a little chunk at a time and I may say, hey, do that part again, say it like this, right? And it's a really like hands-on direction when I get this notion of like, hey, I hear this line. Here's how you need to say
Yep.
it, right?
Yeah.
So long story long, Nick, there you go.
Yeah, well, I like that, and, you're a lot more than a video editor for your
Yeah,
clients.
yeah,
You're helping them with so much more than just the video. You're really a business coach that
yeah.
just so happens to do awesome videos.
That's
This episode is sponsored by Atopic AI for Opportunity. Atopic is an AI-powered opportunity discovery platform, and the best word that I can describe it is ChatGPT. But instead of giving you information, it gives you real people you should be connecting with. Whether you're looking for clients, partners, investors, job prospects, or high intent leads, Topic makes it simple. You just type what you're looking for, and the AI thinks through thousands of signals, and then surfaces verified prospects with context, not random lists. It even helps you follow up, nurture conversations, and track your pipeline. What I love about Atopic and why I'm excited to have them as a sponsor is that they're solving the biggest problem in business growth, finding the right people at the right time. If you haven't yet, go to atopic.com and try it. It's one of the smartest tools out there for people trying to grow their business.
there you go.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
that, I
yeah.
think,
I was about to say, I always tell people, look, you hired me for video. I'm not your coach, but I'm qualified to coach you. Here's what I would do. This is
mhm.
based on my now 20 years of experience, almost 20 years of experience being in this coaching industry and seeing just all of this, all of these models played out in front of me and the strategy in the back rooms, right? Has just been an invaluable experience for me.
And it's really good that you do that because you're understanding your client, you're understanding the business, so you know what type of videos they need. You can
Exactly.
guide them to make them. You can do all the editing, so then you know it's done right. Yeah, it's just like a win-win all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got 3 editors working for me. We've got a project manager and a VA. So it's like getting that machine just running, right? The
Mhm.
client meets with me, I direct them, they get handed off to the editing pipeline. And, a few business days later, they've got videos ready to go. And in some cases, we post the videos for them, depending on the level of service, right?
Awesome, and I also really like that you're willing to teach people how to do things themselves.
Yeah, you got to learn some of this stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
too many times, and I'm sure you've heard this, where people go, "I'm not technical," and it's like, I get it. We didn't grow up with all of these things, but they're not going away,
mhm,
right? So, take the time. Yes, the learning curve might be a little bit steep, but there's a point where you're going to be like, "Oh, I'm getting the hang of some of this stuff," right?
yep,
It's not as complicated as I once thought.
yeah, exactly. Look, if you look at our social media, we teach a lot of how to do what we do for yourself.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot, so that's why people hire us to save time.
I
You
love it.
know,
Yeah,
and another thing that we do is whenever we get on a sales call, no matter if they become a client or not, they're gonna walk away with at least 5 things that they can implement immediately, you
yeah.
know? It's
I
it's
have the same philosophy. I'm like, look, book a call with me. I promise you're going to leave better than you came
Yep,
because
exactly.
I'm going to give you everything that you should be doing and how I would
Mhm,
want you to do it. Because the other thing I say, and I try to encourage every coach to do this because I think it's just such a stellar move is I am a cheerleader for video. I understand there's other people who do video. I don't have to be the only one who does video, but I'm a cheerleader because I know it works. If you
mhm,
apply these practices and this kind of efficiency to it, it will work, right? And I love to be in that position, right? And again, it's like when you can show people like, hey, I really do care about this stuff and I know it works. And if you're not in the position to hire me right now or I'm not the right fit, I get it. But here's what I think you should do, right?
yep. I think that's super awesome. I love what you do.
Thank you. I love what you do.
Like, I'm I will be sending you referrals
I love
because
it.
I've already got clients that need your services.
I love
It's gonna
it.
go hand in hand with what we do for them already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect.
So, I think that'll be awesome. So, how can people reach out to you? How can they,
Yeah,
what's your website, all that good stuff?
yeah. So my main site is just jimbomarshall.com, Marshall with two L's, JIMBOMARSHALL.com. And from there, I probably have a few resources. I think I have a great little mini course called Client Catching Video Formula. So
Oh,
that's just clientcatchingvideoformula.com. That's my free training where people could get a little taste of how I'm walking them through the three simple steps to profitable video where we use AI for the script creation. So I give you the prompts there. We go over shooting for the edit, right? And shooting for the edit is like shooting in chunks intentionally. So you give yourself, you will mess up. And that's okay, right? Most of my clients, when they come and make a video with me on Riverside, let's say the final video is 90 seconds long. I may have 8 minutes of raw footage, right? Because I'm encouraging them to mess up. Let's try it again. Go a little bit bigger, right? And then the third thing I walk you through on that mini course is simple video editing in that application Veed that I think is essentially a Canva, but like for video. It really is about the simplest I've seen. So that's how anyone could get in touch with me, or you could email me, jimbo@jimbomarshall.com.
awesome, awesome, yeah. I know you're gonna be getting some people from this because videos is so important, and
It
more
is.
people need to do it. And like a lot of people are scared. They don't know what they're doing, and they just don't ever start.
And
So,
here's what I would say to that. A little bit of a mindset thing, right? If you don't
yep,
mind.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So video, it exposes you more than anything else because you've got the point of you're creating the video and it's just you and a camera. And that camera is not emotionally giving you any energy or reaction as opposed to if you're in a live room and you're speaking, right? You get the energy from the room. So the first thing I want people to know is you do have to put an intentional performance effort into it. Like I'm not trying to say don't be yourself, but I do want to say you got to be yourself, like pumped up, right? You got to be enthusiastic. You got to be a little bit excited and a little bit more dramatic than you would normally think you might be. And then ultimately, what I would want people to ask themselves, because here's what I get, right? It's women and men that are basically like, I don't like the way my wrinkles, or, you know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to wait till I lose 20 pounds or whatever the case may be. Right. And I'm like, one, your ideal clients aren't watching your videos so that they can date you.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
they're watching your videos so they can learn from you, right? This is not a dating resume video that we're making. So get over
Maybe
yourself.
maybe you should get into that. That might be
Right.
good.
I got a side hustle. But then finally I go, look, you got to ask yourself at some point, is your mission bigger than your ego? And if you can answer yes, I want to do this. I was put on earth to do this, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I don't care if I don't like my videos. I don't care if I like the way I look right now. This message is too important, and I cannot be that selfish. I know this matters, and therefore I'm going to make the videos anyways.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And like just talking to the people out there who are scared and nervous to make a video.
Yeah.
I was right there with you.
Yeah.
My first video was actually 3 years ago, last Tuesday.
Whoa.
I know that because my best friend threw me a party to celebrate. I didn't even know what day it was. And I walk out of my office and there's balloons and streamers and I'm like,
That's so
what
great.
is going on? So yeah. But I remember that first video.
Yeah, and it's gotten easier, right? Like
Oh
after
yeah.
a while, it just
It
becomes normal,
it
like
does.
everything
Yeah.
else in life, right? If you
Yeah.
do it a few times, you're like, okay, I'm not going to die from this. It's going to be fine. And, the other thing I say is like, look, I want you to make so many videos that you don't remember them all. And ultimately, you'll have some that you like better than others, but who cares? Your job is to be known. If you're going to sell and change lives and transform XYZ, your job is to be known first
Mhm.
and foremost.
Yep. But my first video, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
it took 6 shots of Jack Daniels and about 8 different takes to make that first video. So, that's how that went.
So I
But
don't remember that first video,
I don't remember it.
but I know we made it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, and I just started making a video every day, and then I started doing, like, 2 a day, 3 a day, and
I
just
love it.
yeah, I posted that first video, I think about a month ago now. I found it, I was like, "Oh, man, let's
Yeah.
let's post it again," because when I first posted, nobody knew who I was. I
Yeah.
didn't have any followers, and now on Facebook, that's where I posted again with Facebook.
Love it.
I currently have 19,000
Great.
followers. So I posted it again, and I think it got over 100,000 views
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm
and
sure it blew
like
up because now
2,000, yeah,
yeah.
2,000 comments. I was like, "Whoa."
Whoa!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, but it's like it's just so cool to see like that first video again
Yeah,
after
yeah, no doubt. And the
yeah,
other thing I would, encourage people just I keep thinking of one more thing, so sorry, Nick, but
you're good. I
the
like
the
this.
the other thing I would remind people of is don't focus on your views,
Yep,
especially in the beginning, right?
yep.
And the reality is if your video got 13 views, but one of those views ended up being a $10,000 client, you would make another video, right? And that's the possibility of it. And it's just like, when, we've all grown up in a world of advertising and we've just always taken it for granted. We've all seen Coca-Cola, McDonald commercials, all the famous commercials that we've seen. And sometimes I think as entrepreneurs, as coaches and service providers, it's easy for us to forget that we have to advertise. Like we have to advertise. We are selling ourselves. No one is going to come knocking on our door and go, "Oh, Jimbo, man, so many people are talking about you. I hear you make videos. Can you tell me more? Like, that's not going
Yep.
to happen. Right.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to really go out there, not look at the views. Don't be discouraged. You're playing the long game.
Hmm.
Right? Nothing happens overnight. We never hear of a success story. It was like, oh yeah, I just stumbled into $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like every story is filled with ups and downs and in betweens, right? So it really is about being known and getting yourself out there. And, live speaking, guests on podcasts,
Hmm.
etc., are amazing. But it's that short little video content that is always playing that can grab somebody at 2 a.m, right?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And like, I'm the social media expert. You're the video expert, and it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
And just to give people like a real life stat on kind of how it went for me is I started posting 3 years ago. Last Thanksgiving, I had 7,000 followers on Facebook, right? So it took me, a little under 3 years to get to 7,000.
Yeah.
Since Thanksgiving, now I have over 19,000.
Whoa.
So it's just,
Snowball.
yeah, it's just you get to a point where everything compounds and it just keeps
Yeah.
building faster and faster.
I love it. I
So
love that. What a great
you just
inspiration.
gotta hold on
Yeah.
and you'll get there.
Yeah. I love it.
Awesome. Well, I got one more question for you. So my slogan is "Your abilities are infinite." What
Okay.
does that mean to you?
Well, what it means to me is that I'm capable. I'm going to have to work for it. I'm going to have to put in the effort. Just because I'm capable does not mean I get to be entitled. Just because I did good last year doesn't mean everybody's going to remember it today and reward me today. So for me, it's the constant pursuit of, I won't say perfection because we all know we won't hit that, but it's the constant pursuit of better strategy, more creative vision, faster, easier, cheaper ways to get it done. And ultimately knowing that as I do this, I can spread a message of joy, of optimism, and really inspire people to lean into their own creativity because we all, even though we're not special, we all are special when we choose to share it with the world.
Yep, I agree with that. Everybody has a story. Everybody's story can help somebody else.
Exactly.
Yep, I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Nick. I really
Of course,
appreciate it.
it was a really good time.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit. Because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth, help more people. Alright, everyone, remember your abilities are infinite.